Welcome, brave wanderer, to this magical forest, where all manner of unsung adventure waits around every corner. In our previous story, Jupiter Hazelwood turned down a proposal of marriage from a spry young boy that was met in the wilderness. After leaving him bound and gagged in the forest, our party of young monsters now moved on to the boy's village in hopes of leading its denizens into a self-serving conflict of bitter secession.
For it's a magical forest adventure in a magical forest today. A magical forest adventure. Come play, come play. There is rhyme, there is reason and cunning. There is danger and daring and do. Grab the tail of this life and hold tightly, for it's yours, they are coming for you. So come on a
magical forest adventure.
In a magical forest today.
A magical forest adventure.
Come play, come play.
After a brief rest and an excellent evening of camaraderie that's had by all, you take off into the afternoon looking for the small, isolated village, this end of the forest, where you can, well, lord your wicked desires and take from it all that you will. Because you're beautiful adventurers, not monsters at all.
Not monsters.
However, as you start on this trail, you do realize that you're pretty damn tired. So you stop briefly to take a full long rest. Because, hey,
Long rest.
it's nice. And then feeling rested and taking some time to fix bits and pieces, clean yourselves up, put yourselves in order, you decide to head off at the crack of dawn the next day. Once more, into the woods, in the direction of the smokestack that you saw the day before rising above the tree line. And as you approach, the trees start to thin out a little. Probably within an hour, you start to see areas where various parts of the forest have been cleared out from logging. Not huge logging operations, but people are definitely taking from the woods. And as it comes, and then you start to see some fields. They're not huge fields, but there are 4 or 5 of them, so broken up and spread throughout the woods where all the clearing has happened. And you start to hear the sounds of cows and livestock and people, humanoids particularly. It smells like humans. It's a distinct smell that they have because they're not great cleanliness thing. You also pick up on this gold fag, and so do you, Shadow. Jupiter, it just doesn't smell like forests. It smells like a kind of condensation. When you get too many creatures in one place, they start to create bad smells. It's like a pretty telltale sign of
General smog.
civilization. Well, yeah, not too much here. It looks like as you come through the forest, there are about 10 buildings in a large clearing. As you approach, you cross a small stream, similar to the one that probably joins the one that you bathed in earlier, and you see some rock formations on the far side. They seem like large boulders and structures coming out of the ground on the far side of the clearing where the village is. You see one building which is larger than many of the others, some kind of common hall, and the rest seem like small hovels. There are about 7 or 8 cows, maybe half a dozen horses, quite a few pigs. There's definitely a pig farm to one side, some goats. They seem like relatively simple folk, but for you, this is one of the larger concentrations of people that you've seen. It's about as big as you've seen. And something where you'd like keep an eye on them, but wouldn't go wholesale slaughter on them.
Cool. How do we want to approach the village?
Wait, you slaughtered people?
I don't know what
That's just happening in their head.
Oh, okay.
What if, and I know this is only just occurring to me now, but what if these people react in the exact same way that that weird little boy did?
Tried to marry Jupiter?
Yeah, what if they all try
Everyone
and...
wants to marry Jupiter. Oh my gosh, this is a genuine concern for your character. Oh my god.
What if they all try and marry Jupiter? No reason.
You might have to fight like 24 humans.
Will these ones be full-sized or the same size as the other one?
I mean, generally with these kind of population, you'll have a mix, but you'll usually have a larger, bigger
Taller.
population. And also, I think the issue that we had there was it was a child, and he did not know anything other than he's meant to get a wife when he's the head of the house for his dad, who is still alive. So probably want to avoid that family if we can. In general, because they're all alive. And unfortunately, so is that child.
We
What?
murdered their son.
We did not murder their son, which is the
That's
issue
right,
that
we
we're gonna
murdered
have.
their son.
I think he's just still tied up in the woods. I have no idea.
We murdered their son.
My husband.
So there's some eyes going on between Shadow and Golfag at the moment, where Shadow's like, no, we didn't, and Golfag's like, yes, we did.
Are you gonna tell me anything? Or
Well, you can
I
make a
just-
wisdom. So you guys can
no,
both make wisdom
I'm-
perception rolls.
Wisdom,
Okay.
wisdom.
So that's you two, Credo.
So plus my perception.
That's correct.
I have 19.
Being the wise bugbear of the forest that you are, you can tell there's some skullduggery going on and some clear and definitive differences of opinion between Golfag and Shadow being demonstrated right now. How did you do, Credo?
I got an 11.
You're counting your money. It's delicious.
Great.
So I am.
What's happening here? Something
Are
goes
you
like-
riding Golfag at the moment?
No.
Okay.
She walking.
She just walked.
Your legs.
There's some
I've got
trickery
my,
afoot
because we all
here.
have our goal that we divvied up.
That's right. Yes,
so we're
yes.
carrying
You'll
it,
have
so-
to carry it.
You guys
So-
get your story straight right now.
We definitely didn't kill this kid, and I don't know if you noticed, but Golfag still has his rope.
I didn't notice. I don't really look below like this. Yeah.
Okay, I'm telling you, Golfag has his rope.
I cannot lie to you, magnificent tree nymph.
Go on. What do you want to say to me, darling?
I released the wild and squirrely young strong boy.
Why?
To be fair, he did knock the child out.
I did hit him first.
He's gonna go back to his family and tell
Quite a
him
bit.
that I'm married to him.
And he did just have a long rest.
He did just
Well,
have a
you
long
just
rest.
did have a long rest.
So the kid's
Oh.
probably conscious
Oh.
now. If he's not, he's probably dead from brain damage. Just saying. How hard did you hit that kid?
I'm sorry,
not
comrades.
gonna
This
marry
might be
a child.
It's just like I've been like, I know Jupiter. It's okay. You don't have to marry the kid. Just like, if anyone says they're gonna marry you, just say no. You're married to the forest.
I thought it was really contractual what we had.
Okay. All right. So let's not bring on the wrath of this kid's family. And he said that they were wealthy. I really hope that kid was lying, because if they're an influential family, we're stuffed.
Is there a way that we can disguise ourselves?
I
You
can.
swiftly survey, you once more look back at the town and see, I reassert, a selection of downtrodden hovels and one ramshackle town hall.
Okay, cool.
I need to
I
point
just
out.
go back and I'm just like, okay, That's a good sign. I mean, not for them. It's a good sign for us.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about because I never met this boy.
It's true.
Well, we know we caught you up. We went back.
We
You did
told
have a
you
long
that there
rest.
was a
He
boy.
didn't see me though.
Aha!
They didn't see you.
And,
You didn't see her.
and the
I
horn
do
one
also
knows
have
how to
disguise
lie.
self, but
So she goes into the town then and sort of like reports back to. Is that what we're
Well,
thinking?
you can wild shape into a creature and go with her.
there's
I
so many
said
fun
no.
things.
She once more holds out the possum.
Oh, you wanna hold the possum? Mo, go.
You see
I'm
the
not holding
sharp,
Mo.
wicked
I'm not
curved
holding
claws
Mo.
on Mo.
I'm not holding Mo.
Mo will just walk alongside you then.
That's gonna be even weirder.
Why?
Because a tiefling and a possum with antlers walk into a village. There is no joke.
You are a weird creature as is to these humans.
Oh,
I'm actually probably famous.
So they won't notice your weird dog. It's fine.
You have a weird dog.
Creator, I hate to burst that bubble. You're probably not held so highly. If you look of the condition of that town, that's probably directly caused by your father's influence. They may know you, might not be in a good way. Also, you look like a demon. They could be superstitious. Who knows?
I can
Either way,
cast
we're all gonna
disguise self
we're
if
gonna get attacked by
necessary.
pitchforks. We're gonna get chased out by pitchforks. It's gonna
I'm
happen.
gonna go in. Let me go in.
The horn
I'm
head
not.
is...
I would.
Twitch.
Should I call you mistress? I don't know.
Just call me Creedu.
Created great. Crete.
You my
do.
pillow.
So are we sending Creedu
Can
in?
you feed me?
Good luck.
Thanks.
Wouldn't tell you what to do. I'm just warning you. Be smart. Fireball anyone that tries to hurt you.
No, I'm gonna use my charisma like a crazy person.
Yeah, alright, that works too.
Maybe run away and disguise myself if I have to. Let's go have a magical forest adventure in this village.
I just stay on the outskirts hidden.
Okay, so as the three of you buckle down, just hiding behind some roots and bushes, and you all gaze in as you see Creedo just casually waving a hand behind her. She strolls out into the village.
Just like,
Yep.
Yeah, can you take Mo, please?
I'm gonna take him out.
he's just
Mo just
following
follows.
it.
Mo looks at you, looks at the village, and looks at you and is like,
No.
Okay, Mo, baby, get back in here.
crawls back into your fur and disappears.
I have enough gold on me as well to kind of like
Hmm.
sort situations out.
Mo
Oh,
seems to dislike
bribery.
human settlements even more than you do.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Mo. Just pat my fur.
He's in there somewhere. just gonna rub all over. So
You never established that you put your leaves back
Creedo.
on either.
you stroll in. As you walk along, you start to see some movement throughout the village. And there's a few people who are look at you, and the first person you see sort of goes and sees you and sort of runs away. They don't like screaming and running away, but they move away from you towards a building.
In a quick and
Um,
Straight for the town hall.
Okay, cool. The other one is an old man on the bench. He's just like oogling you with his eyeballs. Give me a charisma roll, please. Charm, even.
Is this the right one? Yeah. It's gonna be a 6.
He looks right through you.
Looks alright.
He was never ogling you. He was looking at something
blind.
else in the distance.
That's by 1,000 cuts.
Eventually, you reach the town hall and you see a group of young men, young to middle-aged men, sort of like come together, and they sort of they're brandishing implements, but not in a threatening way.
Oh dear.
They're just like holding them, and they sort of like come up and they coalesce in a group just outside of the town hall at about the same time that you approach. And the oldest one sort of sounds like, "Who be you, forest nymph?"
I'm not a forest nymph. How do you not know who the hell I am? I'm Creedu. I'm daughter of Balzag. Balzag!
Who? You want?
They don't know?
I speak the strange language. I'm putting in the service. I think you are looking at the words of other things. Dripping. We understand that you're a money nymph.
A money nymph.
Yes.
Wait, what?
Come to grace us with great jewels and treasure. We offer you bread. Get the bread here. Get the bread. One of them pulls out. It holds out a loaf of perfectly round brown bread with a light frosting flour on top. Here, we made it in the mill. Oh, they put it on the ground before you.
The ground.
Yeah.
Oh, great money nymph. Bestow us with your treasures.
Yes, I am the great money nymph. I have come to bestow great treasures upon men between 16 and 35.
Oh, I told you so. Oh, that's you, right? I was like, oh, I know what's going on. Oh, that's all, man. Well, please, would you like to come into the great hall and settle down and enjoy
Yes.
your meal?
I would. Can I please also have some wine? And can you please bring these men, or let it be known in the town that I'm looking for these particular people?
Very well, of course.
And so these people you see,
We're just like, where the fuck's she going?
Bye.
and they go up the stairs and they open the door and lead her into the great hall where she goes in and disappears. And the most of the group go in, and then 3 of the other men run different directions all around the village. And then you start to see small groups of young men and boys coalescing around these various buildings,
This is bad. I
and
should've
then
set
start
them
to
up.
move towards, and then they go back into their houses, and you hear frantic noises. You can interrupt at any point to say if you want to do something, and then you start to see them one by one come out, and they're all like got their hair done, and they've rubbed dirt off their faces, and they're carrying little bundles of things.
How much?
I would like to stealth up to the Great Hall and just like look through a window and be like, what the hell is happening right
What's
here?
through
What
a
is she
window?
doing?
Just fall
All right,
over it.
cool. So give me a stealth roll.
Okay, stealth. I got +4 to stealth. So come on.
Holy heck.
Yeah.
6.
Did you roll 6 total?
Yeah.
Oh. How? No, you're
perceptive
ruining
are
my
these
plans.
humans?
This was going so well.
Less than your roll perceptive.
So I just sneak in.
So they seem to be so caught up with their activities that they don't notice you as you walk around. Are you guys accompanying Jupiter? Or are
Got any
you?
ideas, nibbly nibbly?
Maybe before I
I mean-
left, I was like, I need to go check on this one.
I'm fine.
Don't let her be married off to someone.
Okay, good price.
She's
Got
really
it.
not going
I
anywhere.
was thinking I'd fly up and rest on the top of the thing, or fly up around the village and
What's
see
your
what else is
stealth?
going on. No stealth. Just flying around the village.
+1 stealth. Because they can see a big ass bird creature.
Do you want to get shot out of the sky?
And eaten?
They're tiny villages. They're not...
Would he need to stealth up
Okay,
to
alright.
the village?
Taken. Point taken.
Like that was in character too.
What do you want to do?
Stairs in
You're
character.
ruining my plans.
Okay, so while you guys
I
are
have a plan, I have a plan.
We just bicker the whole time. This is
so
happening.
Jupiter creeps ahead to get to the point, and you guys, you two are at the back, you're bickering. And you look in the window, Jupiter, as you look at the back window, or like a crack in between the boards, because there are no windows, let's face it.
Yeah.
This is a packed earth floor with rickety walls, and it's like a thatched roof. And you see these men start to stream in, and they've sat you down. There's a crude wooden chair at the head of the room, and around it are antlers, deer antlers.
Yeah.
And there's a fur laid in it, so it's a bit smelly as you approach it. But, you know, it is nonetheless a throne. Well, of sorts. It's more like a chair with antlers stuck on it.
Okay. Sounds fun.
They're like, oh, come, sit down, please.
Wonderful. Where's my wine?
Jerry. And they come out and they carry a few clay bottles just tied up with rope, just slung over the shoulder. So puts one down, takes the other, and puts the top of it, and has a small wooden cup, and they put a little table in front of you. Are you sitting at the chair at the head of the room?
Yeah.
And they pour it in. They put a little apple box next to you, and they put the little cloth over it. It's a bit oil stained, and
It's still nice. They're putting effort in.
yeah, they're putting effort in. And they sort of sit beside you, and or kneel beside you. And it's like, oh, there, and put the wooden bowl, less of a cup, more of a bowl, which they've filled with wine in front of you.
Great.
What have I heard of the conversation? What I see her sitting on the throne.
You've heard only as much as has happened now, as I've just described.
Understood.
She's being brought wine and food. You don't know anything about the other conversation
I'm
that's
just
happened
watching.
prior to this. You're just watching, yeah?
So
Let
tell
know what's
me,
watching. Yeah.
tell me, all ye men, about your village.
And the men who have made some vain attempts to groom themselves are slowly starting to filter in. Young boys. It's I mean, we're a very good village, lovely. It's very nice, and we all try our best to all work very hard, honest folk, but we also all like to have a great time and have a dance to celebrate good occasions. And I think that you coming here to grace us with treasures is the best occasion I can think of to have a good old dance.
Maybe later. How's your economy? What's your greatest trade good?
We certainly are known for pigs and turnips.
Pigs and turnips.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Do any of you wish for more grandeur in your life?
And they all look at each other in the room, and like their eyes start twinkling, and it's like, the rumors are true. Just calm down, Bill. Oi.
Yes?
Aye!
Well,
We
have
love
I-
grandeur!
Well, have I got a deal for you? Step right up. I am conscripting for my army to take over the Bone Kingdom. We will return it into a lush, magical kingdom, prosperous for all, where you don't have to trade your soul. We'll lower taxes as well.
Give me a performance roll. Do you want to whisper?
Can I actually whisper to her?
Yeah, you're like looking through the back behind her.
So I want to be like, hey, if you want to really impress these people, I could blow some gold into the barn and make them really impressed with you.
It's a great hall.
Into the great hall, I'll blow some gold in there and really get their favor. Okay, cool.
It was probably made out of a barn.
So they give me a performance roll.
Performance or charisma?
It's charisma with performance.
Yeah.
If you have the proficiency.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
1, 2, so that's a +3.
Yeah,
so
plus
4.
three.
Okay, so they all like scrape the floor and look at each other, and what do you do?
Wait, what did you
So
just
seeing
roll?
how badly
You
she
rolled-
has just done.
She rolled the wrong dice.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
Ugh.
Whatever.
She rolled a d12.
Same shit.
Just
It's
move
not.
your,
It's
you-
not
you're
actually
not-
the same shit. You rolled a
It's
D20.
really not. Move. See this d12? You don't
Yeah,
need
okay,
it at
okay,
all.
okay.
Put it over there. Try again.
Do you want me to roll again, or you
Yeah,
want to do the 1?
yeah. You have to roll again.
15 plus 3.
So, yeah,
so
18.
Do you want to?
I'm still gonna do it because
Yeah,
I really want to.
what are you doing?
So I have a cantrip of gust. Just seize the air and compel it. But I just want to like take like 10 gold out of my pouch and just like blow it
Okay.
into the thing and shower these simple people with gold.
Okay, and how much? What amount of weight can the gust carry?
Capable of moving one object that is neither held nor carried that weighs no more than 5 pounds.
Wow, so you could make a whole 5 pounds worth of gold.
So I'm just doing
Sick.
10 gold pieces in
Yeah,
there
right,
because that's
awesome.
it's like it seems like a lot for these people.
And as you make your triumphant point, gold flings from behind you through the cracks in the walls and pelts these people. These heavy gold coins. Oh, that's gold. What's your money? Oh, the money fairy. Oh, the money nymph. Oh, sweet money nymph. Yes, awesome. Of course, we'll follow you if this is the kind of reward you're paying. Oh. And they start scrabbling around the floor, and one of them like punches another one
minus 10
quite
gold.
solidly in the jaw,
Okay.
to sort of like get that one of the 10 gold that's been flung on the ground.
Okay. So how many people are actually there?
So at this point, there's about 15 men.
Okay, cool. So we have 15 NPCs now.
Well, you have to like convince them.
How about I just convince them?
So what happens
Didn't
now?
I?
What do you want to do?
I want them to become part of the army, so they gotta come follow us around.
I don't think you've told them that bit though. You said like I'm gonna do this, but you haven't told them what they have to do.
Shush you, you're not there.
Sorry.
What would you like to do? So Golfag and Shadow, you...
I'm Western. We were bickering. When
I know, yeah, you guys were bickering, but you now start to notice, as well as looks like all of the young men in the town, about 15, have all gone in there, and you now seem to see some rather annoyed and disgruntled women start to sort of varying ages
I forgot about the women.
start to be like, what's up? It's like looking curiously and start to meander slowly in the direction of the
How do we
hall.
feel about equality?
It doesn't look good.
In my
women soldiers.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
They're like, oh, I've got appointments. So, what can we do for you next?
Oh, we're gonna go on a magical adventure.
So you know
Oh, a magical adventure, boys! A magical adventure.
Of
course. Where could we go with you?
This adventure is going to lead us over to Morden Vale.
okay, a pall of absolute silence falls on the room.
Does that mean they don't know where it is?
We
We will not be going in. You will not be going into the city. You will be making camp outside the city. For a short period.
nothing about going to some monster city.
Not a monster.
It's a monster.
Hey, I'm the scariest thing around. You're all good.
Give me a persuasion roll.
12. You got it. Persuasion. +5.
Five persuasion.
Yeah, this is like literally their jam, convincing
Yes.
people to do what they want.
17. There we go.
Like, well, I wouldn't say scary. You're more lovely, really. But
You get what I'm putting out.
so we're gonna go there and beat up all the monsters.
No, we're not gonna go beat up monsters. We're gonna go gather more for our army. Because I'm not sure if anyone's heard of the Bone Kingdom, but the Bone Kingdom has quite a lot of people
never
there.
heard of that.
Great. Well, that's where I'm from. There's many more money nymphs there, like me.
Oh, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
Dwarf said more money.
They also
So,
like
next
coalesce
steps.
into a little knot in the middle of the room.
What's a war? Monster city? Monster city?
And so on and so forth. They continue to talk for a little bit. At this point, I would like the two of you, in fact, even you, Jupiter, to make perception rolls.
You know this one. It's plus wisdom.
Yep.
Natural 20. So it's a 22.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're
Nothing sneaking up on me, DM.
Number 3.
Like something was sneaking up.
20,
No, but you guys are still fighting.
22.
Alright, okay, you guys are still fighting, but Shadow, you look over and you see coming from suddenly bursting from out of the forest, pursued by what would appear to be a swarm of hornets, is a young boy in a fine red jerkin with a fine green hat and fine green leggings, wearing brown shoes, with a knife in his jeans belt, and
I'm pretty sure I took that off him.
yeah, well, was it? Oh yeah, you threw it away somewhere.
Yeah, I looted him and took anything.
So that's why the
Including
hornet's
his
chasing him. He's got nothing to...
He's got absolutely
So
nothing to.
Can't fight hornets without a knife.
Yeah.
Are these like normal sized hornets? Big
Yeah.
I probably got rid of it because it wasn't like that.
Does he have any more cookies?
No, you don't know about
This
those
is a bit of a
cookies. You know
distance
nothing
away,
about those
and
cookies.
you also notice like through you hear like a bzzz, like what the hell hornets, and you look out and you see around the corner of the building this boy sort of breaking out from the forest and running. He's like, "Hey, quickly, get these hornets off me!" Yells out, and some of the women are like, "Oh no!" And they start to.
I've seen this, and I've just like grabbed Goldfag's arm, probably a little bit with my claws, and I'm just like, the boy.
How many times... Can I use cantrips all the time? Like,
Yeah,
just
cantrips
every
are just
single
whatever,
round you can
yeah.
use a cantrip.
Is he nearest to us in the clearing before the city, or is he around the other
City.
side of
It's a
the town?
village.
In the clearing,
Not even a
before
town.
the village,
Village.
before the mud shack,
Uh-huh.
and
This town.
okay, before
yeah.
the mud shacks. Is there distance? Is he on a field before he gets there? Do we have time? That's what I'm
Yeah,
asking.
but you will, because he's burst out of the forest into the clearing.
Yeah.
So yes, you can intercept him before he gets to the town hall.
People will see it,
But the women who are in the town will see it, and possibly that old man who's sitting on the bench over there.
He's blind.
You don't know that.
You're stealthy, I'm not.
I am stealthy.
So you can
But-
hide your way into the city.
But do I want
If I
to?
pull a distraction
Am
I
and
close
pick up
to
the
the
kid.
boy?
No, you're farther away from the boy.
Yeah,
Okay.
These two are closer, but you can see him coming with your excellent roll.
you're excellent.
Fudge,
Nice.
fudge,
You're very
fudge,
far
fudge.
away. We can't
Mo,
consult.
what do I
We
do?
can consult.
I know, boss.
have a strong preference to
geez.
do something here.
Maybe I can do something about it.
Save or kill?
Hornets, they don't like my smell.
No.
If I get out there, I can
in
maybe claw his
character,
face
you
off or
say
something.
You have something to do, and I'm like literally save
I'll do it for you.
or kill.
It's a big
Save-ish.
risk.
Save-ish?
But I love it,
Save-ish.
Jupiter.
Maiming? Maiming?
Potentially.
Maiming.
Only if things go wrong.
I'll wait for you guys to make an action, then I will make what
So
I
we're
think
not-
I
we're
would
not
do.
wanting
Okay,
to
before
help
we
this kid.
resolve this,
No!
Credo.
We just want them to stop
So
thinking
they-
about
they-
the
because
boy
they were-
and go back to the money nymph.
All right. We all have offerings to give to you, Money Nymph. May we present them in exchange for boons of money?
Boons.
Bo-
Bones?
Bo-
I got bones.
Boo.
I have three
No,
gold
no,
bones.
sorry,
Oh.
boot gifts.
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 I just gave money.
But we have gifts for you.
Okay, fine. Present the gifts.
Oh, excellent. I'll board you.
Are you
And they start
expecting me
making an orderly line,
No, it's alright. I got.
and the
skills.
first one comes up, and he has this rather elaborately hand-woven circlet. It's got like hair woven in it,
That's gross.
and
Is it my face?
no, they haven't had time to prepare. But it's there are like little lattice works of string going across it,
Beautiful.
and then on top is a small pile of sweet cakes, corn
Sweet
sweet
rolls?
cakes. He's like, puts it down.
Sweet
It says,
rolls?
I labored over these, and you hear a little voice crying from the side of the barn. No, you didn't. I did. I labored over these for you, you traitor! Sound of a
Aw.
woman's voice coming from outside.
You just made enemies like all of the women of this village.
Ah, well. That's okay. I'll get over it.
You're
I'll
like,
cast
eh.
lice at them.
The group, or at the
Not the
woman.
women. The women if they annoy me.
Well, you tell me when they annoy you.
I will. Don't worry. Don't you worry.
Did you? Do you?
No,
Right now?
I don't yet. No. I mean, they are probably in range. Yeah, they're in range, but
No, they're just on the other side of the wall, but there are cracks in the wall. You can see through them.
yeah. So 30 feet is the range. on that one. Yeah.
Totally.
No, I'm not casting lice at them just yet.
Ooh.
What are you doing, Golfag?
We have a plan.
Oh.
What's your plan, guys?
We're not gonna hurt the kid, nor are we gonna hurt the wasps.
Hornets.
Hornets. I'm gonna run at the kid,
Uh-huh.
all squirrely like, run into a fly,
Uh-huh.
like really, like some real ninja next level stuff.
yeah,
You better
yeah,
believe it. It's
like-
gonna be the best.
Yeah.
It's definitely gonna pay off. 100%.
See it. Oh my god, it's so amazing.
Make sure you
Yeah.
So
I'll
running,
run and roll,
flying.
do a flip, and then pick him up with my feet, my claws, and just like, I've picked up you, I've picked up other people.
It's just some
People
kid,
who've
right?
ridden me. It's just some kid. I can just get him with the talons either side and just
Uh-huh.
fly him away somewhere, and that way the nymph can keep the business going. Sorry, whatever's going on in town will have time to finish, and people come after me if there's anything wrong. It's a perfect plan.
I
And-
look really enthusiastic. Like, yeah, I just wanted to shoot it, but okay, your plan's great.
Yeah.
We're just gonna shoot it.
You run. Dash. Start streaking. So you just take 2 steps and launch to fly. You're gonna be much faster flying than you are walking. So you cover 50 feet. As the wings, you break the forest just on the other side of the bushes.
Yeah.
Wings come out. Vroom, vroom, vroom. The boy doesn't seem to notice you. So you swoop in and give me an attack roll.
Not to kill him, mind. Just
This
to
is
pick
just to
him
grab
up and
him.
take him places. Alright.
It's just for a grab.
Yes. What do I add to an attack roll?
Strength.
Strength. Oh, great. Lucky 7. Right?
You should like go in and then you're instinctive. Your instinctive. I don't know. Your instinctive fear of hornets
You rolling the
kicks
right
in, You're like, whoa! You see like the horse like, these little angry looks in their eyes looking at you, and you're like, oh shit! And you beat your wings up, and as you sort of go straight upwards, like about 5 feet, the downdraft of the wind just clears all the hornets off the boy. He looks up like, ah! What are you doing? You've been sitting there waiting. Did you ready a shot? Do you want to just quickly plug the kid?
No, because I'll get in trouble, and I don't want to get, like, he's bigger than me. I don't want to... That's the thing. I don't want to piss off everyone that's bigger than me. So, just a little bit annoyed, but I'm entertained watching this. I'm so
You do notice
entertained.
that the boy has got various welts all over his face and arms. What would you like to do?
How far away is the boy from me? In feet, please.
120.
Lunch.
I just want to start sneaking towards the village and seeing what's going on with all of these women that seem really.
Well, they
like...
were all moving towards the barn. Some of them are on the outside looking in, about 3 or 4. But then others who are on their way over are now distracted by this bird man that's just appeared out of nowhere.
Can I style out my previous action like it looks like I'm meant to do that? Like,
Yeah, just make a charisma roll.
Yeah, I'm just
Go on,
flapping away.
Just make a charisma roll.
Damn it. Into the point. Nine!
Wow.
It doesn't look like you're threatening anyone. In fact, oh, thank you, great bird.
Okay, seeing this and seeing their reaction, I get another 10 gold and gust towards them. I make it rain like over the barn to these women that are standing on the other side that cannot see me.
On the other side.
Well, because the way that I'm understanding it is that like I'm at the back of the
Yeah,
barn.
you're at the back of the barn. They're kind of on the sides.
On
at
the
front
sides.
of the barn.
Okay, cool. So then I'd like to send like 10 gold this way on that side of the barn, 10 gold that side. Just make it rain.
You make your rain. They're suitably distracted. Oh, money! Oh, money! You hear the man inside like, oh, money. And here's my gift. And he, a hand-whittled fertility idol with giant curvaceous features.
Venus Willendorf.
It reminds me of you.
Ew, wait, what?
Oh, wondrous beauty nymph.
I'm skinny.
Shut up!
Oh my god.
Accept it
She's
graciously.
genuinely offended by your gift.
It's like,
Keep going, boys. They're just spilling more money, huh?
Because they can hear the women outside, right?
yeah. They can hear the women outside. And some of the women, they're like half torn. The ones who are sort of nearest to you, they're like half torn between the scattering of money over there. Oh, there's money over there. Oh, but the angelic bird, boy, saved him. And you like rise up, the sun sort of glips in behind you, like coming across the trees, like irradiating like through the translucence of your feathers.
This is one big shenanigan happening.
And the boy sort of looks up and is like, where the shit? There's a monster! Points up at the...
Is he able to convince the women that it's a monster, though? Because I just rained money down on them. And they
Not those ones, those women. The other women by the barn. These are the women who are not by the barn. This is like quite a distance.
Okay, so the
120
women,
feet, remember?
The women not by the barn think it's an angelic bird or can hear that he's calling monster?
They think that it's an angelic bird, but they've just heard the boy call monster. You're not sure how they're going to react to that.
Fudge.
You're genuinely concerned.
What would you like to
What
do,
if I do,
Goldbag?
like, really... These are... Alright.
Come on, big roller.
Yeah, these are...
Shadow, let me know if you want to interject with anything
Hold
other
on,
than
I think
benign
I'm just
amusement.
gonna try and just start sneaking towards the village, and I feel like everyone's so distracted. I could probably just
Just walk
saunter
in.
up.
Make a stealth roll.
Cool.
Your stealth's not bad, right?
This sounds pretty good. If it would be really good if I was looking at the right section. Cool. +5. 15.
Where would you like to be?
I would like to be towards these women that are away from the barn.
And you want to use your... Oh, okay, that's very easy, yeah. Within a normal movement, you can just, like, sneak past some hay bales, wander through some paddocks, and you're there now within striking distance of the boy, the women, and the bird.
Oh. Any sleep
And the
dance
bird.
or anything?
Yeah.
Put the bird to sleep.
Look,
Only...
these are Podunk Pit. This is a small town. Podunk, small town. Like, really isolated. They haven't seen much. What if I did like some really fancy flips and stuff in the air.
With
like,
the
Or what if you just? What if
Okay,
I
you
don't know
that's
the boy, I've just
awesome,
blown
but
around things.
unfortunately we're in a strange situation where you can't just talk to everybody.
Oh yeah,
What
yeah.
if you
Sorry.
just convince the women that you just saved the boy?
So got no fucking courage.
We'll get to you in a minute.
I actually got no wisdom.
So,
All right.
Am I
You.
still receiving gifts now?
yep, and another one. Next one comes up and it brings you like
I'm getting quite tired of all these gifts. I feel like it's a lot of effort and a lot of work and a lot of talking for 15 people who are probably not going to be that good at fighting and are just going to be
You're just
like
saying this out loud to
pawns.
them?
No, I'm talking to myself.
Okay.
Yeah. I would like to cast a I want to do a wisdom check.
Yep.
Because I want to see, do they pray to a deity? Do they pray to a god? Do they have a god? How religious are they?
give me a
so you're
religion
trying to
roll.
do like a religion roll? Okay.
Got a plan?
Oh, so yours.
I've got a plan.
Yeah. Religion +2.
It's 10.
Not that you can see. Nothing obvious. Likely farmers. Some nature spirit. Maliki,
Okay, I want to cast my.
you suppose. Some boring god.
I want to cast Thaumaturgy.
Thaumaturgy.
Yes!
What does that do?
That! I manifest a minor wonder, a sign of supernatural power within range. You create one of the following magical effects, which is your voice booms up to 3 times as loud as normal for 1 minute. You cause flames to flicker, brighten, dim, or change color for 1 minute. You cause harmless tremors in the ground for 1 minute. You create an instantaneous sound that originates from a point of your choice within range, such as a rumble of thunder, the cry of a raven, or ominous whispers. You instantaneously cause an unlocked door or window to fly open or slam shut, and you alter the appearance of your eyes for 1 minute. Or, yeah.
Yep. What would you like to do?
Yeah.
I want my voice to go up 3 times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And what will you say?
I want to say,
Your booming godlike voice.
I am your new god! Bow down to me!
Give me a persuasion roll.
Wow.
She's really good at persuasion.
We would have heard this outside too.
Like, what the?
Persuasion?
15.
Cool.
Hey!
Well, on a natural one, they all. Almighty! They all also like sort of bowing down in the heaven. They're like, and then a woman bumps in and says, "I saw an angel outside!" And they're all like, "Oh, oh!" And redouble their religious fervor.
Great.
And they all like push forward their gifts to you
Great.
that they brought.
Great. I'm a god. Now can we please go and do army things?
You don't even know how to get to that point, do you?
No idea. I'm like, how do I close the sail? Yeah.
What you need is a sly middle manager. Alright, so, you said that, Bilfag, what are you doing?
One more
You've heard
attempt
someone cry out,
to pick
the
up
angel.
the boy and bring him safely to rest.
Okay, you can go for it
Away
again.
from the wasps.
Well, you already cleared the
You've
hornets.
cleared the wasps
Yeah,
with the
cleared the
beat of your
hornets.
wings.
But I need to demonstrate to
But
him
with a
that-
single beat of your wings,
Need
You are
to-
not.
you
gonna
saved
pull
the
this
boy.
out.
This boy's gonna start screaming
need
if you
to
take him.
demonstrate to these people that I'm.
Well, you've heard her
the
say.
monster.
Simba, lift him.
Simple lift him.
Done! Simba lift into the sky.
You find like a ray of sunshine.
Okay, excellent. Yes, make a roll, please, to once more attack. Just gotta hit it.
What's it on? Is it on plus strength?
Yeah.
19.
So you're like, swoop you up, do an elaborate somersault, come back
Take
down,
him.
grab,
Take him to
and
the
take
village.
him up into the air again.
He's screaming.
The monster! The monster!
Does he pass out? He's so terrified.
And the woman at the door is like, "Praise be the angels delivering our boy unto the heavens!"
Just keep
They don't
going.
understand.
I'm gonna deliver him to the town hall!
You gotta leave now.
What are you doing, Jupiter? Shush, shush, you can't hear anyone except for... No, you're
I am enjoying watching all of this because I can hear her saying that she's God. I can see him doing this.
Yeah, everyone hears the booming voice of God.
Jesus.
Can I see like the back of Jupiter from where I am? And I'm watching her like. I'm just.
No, you unfortunately you cannot see Jupiter.
Okay, kind of see. I just see this gold like raining down.
But you do see the gold raining down from behind the,
Yeah, and I'm just
the-
like, this is
the Great
so
Hall.
messed up. Like,
Okay, so I want to go
Wow.
into the Great Hall and like fling the doors open really dramatically and be like,
You notice there was a small back door,
oh, there's a back
which
door.
is close to you,
Oh, okay.
as opposed to walking all the way around to the front of the tavern. Unless you want to like climb on top. So you're very good at climbing and just drop in through the thatching. It's pretty loose.
That one.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
okay, cool. I want to climb up.
Mhm.
I want to drop down in front of our new god and be like, I am the general. Everybody get your shit, we're leaving.
Be the acrobatics
Thank you.
/ athletics roll, please.
Okay. Acrobatics / athletics.
Your
Okay.
choice.
yeah, your choice between the two.
14!
Alright, you like bugbears were built for this. You just go up there silently, and then you feet first through, boom. You get your big staff with the knob on the end of it, and the crystals jamming out in all directions. And give me a persuasion roll with advantage because you have so much established esteem.
Okay, so that one's 7.
These guys are so stupid.
Oh,
Nat 20!
you.
22.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, they are all.
Get your
Look,
shit, we're
oh.
rolling.
Oh, Smileys! They grab the last of the coins and very well. Where shall we marshal?
Marshall. Where are they going?
And then I look to Credo, I'm like, great God, where shall we meet you? I gotta keep selling this. And I bow. I'm like on one knee. I'm like,
You have
great
them.
God.
They're pretty. They're both frightened by your voice, by the appearance of this angelic bugbear,
The angel outside of the kid.
the child disappearing into the heavens.
We just bamboozled an entire village of people.
That's great. I'm digging it.
So, Credo, what do you say back to me and the people?
Let's meet outside the town. Let's meet outside the village in 30 minutes with your stuff, and then we're going to Mornvale.
I look at everyone. You heard the lady! Go!
Please.
All right, they all scurry off in their various distances. So you see a whole bunch of people starting to exit the town hall quickly. What do? Where are you taking this kid? So you start to go up.
I'm gonna bring him back down.
I'm gonna be stuck with him forever. Well, bring him back down.
You can bring him
Or-
back down.
I could let him find his way.
Shush
back
you!
down.
You can't talk. Do you have telepathic communication?
So-
You have to make this decision all on your own,
He
Mr.
was-
6 Intelligence.
Oh, I don't want to be stuck. I don't want to be stuck with this goddamn kid. I don't want to kill him either. I could just put him down on the ground. I could, or I could talk to him while we're flying.
Yeah.
I could say, "Hey, kid, do you want to go back to your family?"
Or do you want
Not a
to
threat,
die?
just a question.
Yes, I want to go back so I can tell him you're horrible monsters and you stole my wife and I'm going to kill you.
Do you want to tell him a little bit less than that?
Ah, he's trying to punch your feet.
Drop a little.
Oh no!
Well, no. Do you keep flying around
What's
for
your
like half
armor
an hour
class at the
still?
moment?
I can't keep him. Huh?
What's your armor class at the moment?
My armor class is 11.
He totally hits you.
What?
He does 1 point of damage.
I let go with one of my 2 talents, just to let him know that I'm serious.
Make an intimidation. Oh, he seems completely unfazed.
Boy, you better stop. God.
He goes for a slingshot.
Not again! You nearly killed me
does he
with the
have that?
slingshot last time. Alright,
Made a new one.
I make my way kind of as we're flying and discussing towards the forest and away from the town and everything. If they're all on board, he's getting the slingshot out. Okay, and as we get closer to the clearing, I let him go gently as I can manage, but still so he's got a little bit of a tumble to take.
So you're gonna try and let him down
Before we enter the
lightly.
forest. Let him down lightly, but hoping that it dislodges whatever little bits and pieces he's pulling out of his pockets.
Awesome.
As lightly as I can manage, but there's still a meter drop or so.
Do you die?
I want him to die.
you drop him head first onto a rock, and you hear the distinctive snap of his neck. as he slumps and crumples to the ground.
Golfang,
Now
the child
immobile
killer.
upon the ground. So you dropped him. He had to make a dexterity roll to successfully land and rolled a 1. And then took standard falling damage for a short distance, which was D6, and rolled a 6. And he's only a small boy who's already been pestered by hornets.
And been put unconscious earlier.
He just seems really unlucky. That's on him. He's unlucky. Golfang, the child killer.
I go over.
Oh my
We
God.
don't know that this
You've
happened.
just described this, but I don't know for sure, right? I'm not.
I
I gotta go check. I gotta
give
go.
me
crack.
either a medicine or a perception roll. Your choice.
Okay.
You
Why
can choose
do you
whichever
care?
is worse.
I'm just gonna go check on it.
Because Ian
I
cares.
go over. I'm going over to the guy and I'm gonna
This is
touch him with a
great.
talon and be like, "Hey, get up! Hey,"
It's not the first
Right?
time. I've
You
been
don't know.
wrong.
Okay, give me a medicine roll.
which is a d20
It's D20.
plus minus 15.
Yep, you definitely heard the sound of his neck snapping.
Damn.
Quite distinct.
All right, I go
You've
over.
seen things fall before. You often drop things from great heights.
It's true,
make
I
them
do.
fall. This is
Often
like
drop my
standard
brain.
hunting method of the bird boys.
What were you saying earlier?
Achoko 101.
What were we saying earlier about certain birds of prey swallowing things whole and then not having to worry about bits until later on?
You
down the track?
cannot swallow a child.
I think you should try. Always do the dumb thing.
No. I accidentally do the dumb thing. Alright. So,
Accidentally.
Like dropping a child on his head.
It's accidental mostly.
The kid rolled a 1 and a 6.
So I go over to
the
the
kid's
potentially
fault that they
dead
died.
body, but maybe not. Who knows? This small child that I just picked up, being the angel that I am, and in the way of my people, I give him the blessing of the giant white bird as best I can manage.
How does that work
I
again?
say to you, like,
Yeah, honor a fallen enemy.
Touch me.
It's an important ritual.
And by honoring the soul of the
By
dead,
honoring the soul of this fallen warrior, it's a warrior in spirit. He fought to the very last.
he really
He
did.
fought against wasps and hornets and any number of things that might have killed him.
Like bugbears.
Like
Can I come
I don't
sit
know,
there?
like anything.
I think we're a team now.
And I bid him. I bid him farewell on his way.
And then
Good
you
night,
leave
sweet
him
prince.
lying face down with his neck bent backwards underneath his torso on the ground. The ants slowly crawling
It's really difficult.
up his pants.
When are you gonna swallow?
No, I'm gonna swallow him.
Yeah, like a pelican, you gullet just
I
opens.
just take as little time as I can to chop the body into little pieces and bury it.
You pull out your large.
I don't want to sit here.
You pull out your large double-handed axe and make short work of the boy. Okay. Meanwhile, completely oblivious to the butchery and disposal of the 10-year-old.
It is butchery, isn't it? It really is.
No, you gave him the proper burial rights.
did.
You treated him as an equal, as a respected opponent.
I think I finished them. Did I finish them?
He's dead.
Did I finish
The rights.
Do you
Yeah.
know rights?
Yeah, you did.
Absolutely.
I think you did.
I might
Now
have
you're
missed
just
one
chopping
line.
him into pieces.
Oh, really? Do you want
Uh-uh.
to continue with that one line?
But once they're
No, I got
finally
it right.
buried, what do you say?
Oh. May the white bird watch over you. That's what you got? Okay.
Then you say it in common. Meanwhile, you take the time to muster the troops.
Rob mustard. Everybody get out of your houses. Get your shit together. We go. The kids definitely don't.
And the women and the children. There are probably 7 children.
No.
10 women. 15
great
menfolk.
Queen God lady, do you want women?
6 horses.
Has
The
she-
ones that don't have kids.
The ones who don't have kids, yes, because then they can cook.
Okay, women for cooking. Didn't know tieflings ate humans like that, but okay. Everybody, Get your non-encumbered women together.
Okay, so you round up all the women, and what about the children?
No, the non-encumbered women. So
Oh.
all of the women that have
Okay.
kids, they get to stay there.
Oh, okay.
All of the young women and single ones and widowed, they all come in.
Okay. So they've
Okay,
got like
take it.
various
No, we're just
backpacks
without
and
husband, not without
sticks
kids.
and pitchforks
Tifa
and
wants to cook them.
stuff like that.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited for this. We're meeting outside.
Talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to talk to them and give them another pep talk or something?
I don't know. Is your general handling it?
I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just like trying to.
They're
follow
all
your lead.
standing there in the middle of the open space. Shadow, are you still just? Are you down?
So I was sneaking towards the village, but when I saw him fly away, I like, oh no, there's no point in me going in your direction. Right.
You should come and help.
Yeah, I was just like, alright, that's a whole other thing. Alright, they're getting all these women. Alright, I'm gonna go to find Jupiter.
Do we meet up?
Yeah, I'll meet it. I'll go to the
Town
town hall.
Shadow just appears.
yeah, I just
As you're like overseeing. Give me a
I just pop up next
persuasion
to-
roll.
I just pop up next to you.
Persuasion.
Yes.
Let's change to persuasion. Nat 20.
Awesome.
It's my third Nat 20!
So you seem to
Bugbear jump.
instinctively like just organize them appropriately, make sure they've got everything they need for the ensuing conflict that will take
I'm just
place.
kind of guessing now. I'm like, yeah, that thing, bring it. That seems good.
Yeah.
Shadow appears. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Ah!"
yeah. Shadow's- But yeah, an orderly group of
Yeah, just
15 men are now standing in 3 rows. Oh, men and women.
Mhm.
So you've got like all standing in rank and file. Oh no, that's not true. The women are kind of corralled into a small pen off to the side. That's what you were doing, right? You were corralling them for the
Oh,
tiefling
yeah,
to eat.
yeah. I was like,
yeah.
To eat.
I was
Yeah.
like, Kridu, I have the women ready for eating. I'm not sure how you tieflings like to do this.
What? I meant
But-
cooking as in they'll cook for the troops.
I didn't know that.
I did not mean to eat them.
And then I just lead you over. I'm
I
like,
have
which
to
one would you like first?
Do I have to eat them now?
no, you don't have to. You
You
can
can do
tell
whatever
them
you
no.
want. I think you want to eat them.
I'm really okay. I know this is the most amount of people you've seen. You like your life. I'm really proud of you.
That one looks good.
I don't want to eat them. These are for our army.
But you said that they can. That you want
For
them
cooking.
to cook.
Your mother and father used to eat these guys all the time.
Human flesh is pretty nice. You know, back before I was a pescatarian, we ate these. I'm saying this in full view
course,
of
of
everyone.
course.
I'm like, they're pretty good eating, you know? They got a bit of fat, really gets in there. And what's that called? Marbling. Humans have marbling.
We're not eating them. We're just. I maybe later. I'm hungry.
Oh, thank you, my gracious God.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
a god.
Get out of the pen!
I don't want to be like, get with the men. We're going, and I'm really proud of you. You've done a fantastic job for your first moment as general.
Thank you.
You've persuaded them. You've rallied them. And now we have to instill the idea with them that I am still a god, and I'm gonna have to probably ride you.
Okay. Oh, I was feeding off the positive feedback. I was like, I did such a good job. Jupiter. And then I'm like, oh god. The tiefling wants to ride me again.
Or just carry me, other one.
Is the tiefling small enough that I can like put her on my shoulders? Okay. So I keep putting on this performance and this spectacle. And I get down on my knees and I'm like, oh great God. Mount me.
Well, Kridu, would you like to mount the bugbear?
Exactly what I
They're
want
on
to.
their hands and knees for you.
And I crawl up there, and I get on her shoulders, and I sit there, and
And
I
her
kind of like
legs are
start scratching at her fur, like, yeah.
Oh, it's really soft. It's really soft. It's really
Yeah,
soft.
don't kick Mal.
It
It's
is.
actually
It's-
softer than Shadow's fur.
It's softer than the cat. I'm like, ooh, you cat.
I'm like standing there, and my tail is flickering in an irritated manner that Jupiter is suddenly becoming the favorite so quickly.
Where I'm just like, get this thing off me. Oh, great God!
Yep.
And then I just quickly quiet. Is Skullfag around? Like, have you guys seen it?
I lean up, like, because I can't lean to her, but I kind of like lean up to you, and I'm
Like,
just
what's
like,
happening? You're just
uh,
tilting.
Okay, so at this point,
I took the boy and went in.
so
that
at this point,
direction.
Kridu, you spot some strange bird person who you've probably never seen before broach the entrance to the village. He's standing there with a somber look on his face.
Who's this guy?
Draws your attention to Golfag. I would like both of you to make perception rolls. I understand that you don't care, but these two might.
Perception is plus my.
I rolled in that one.
I've got 13. Damn it.
I mean, I have a +5 on my perception.
Yeah.
But I rolled in that
I've never seen him
one.
before.
You look. You notice that he seems like he's got a very
I have a
heavy.
6 on my perception. But yeah.
He's in dour disposition. What did you get?
13.
You notice spatters of blood, both on his axe and his pristine white feathers.
Oh, so I'm gonna then continue with this performance just to make sure it's all good. And I'm seeing the blood, and I have the horrified look on my face. But I'm like, oh, great general, you've just returned from slaying many monsters, I am sure.
He's not a general.
Master General, I don't know. I'm making something up.
He's not a general.
I'm making something up.
You say out loud as you're whispering in his ear. The people
to...
assembled seem reasonably confused.
Damn it. We got it.
Lead us, Master General, to the next adventure. You know that we're going for it then, right?
Yeah, okay, surely. The way is clear. The monsters are slain. They fought well. They fought handily, but they lost. We are on to Mordenland. Morden Vale.
I clap a hand on your shoulder. I'm like, I gotta talk.
I have a response as well. As a demon, I feel like I can actually see that your soul is a little bit broken by killing a 10-year-old boy. And you're also a bird, and you've suddenly become a very tasty soul to me. And so my feet are like kicking into Jupiter, like, yeah, I'm really excited. I want to eat that one. And no one's ever seen me like getting excited about eating someone before, only like maybe fish and then cookies. But suddenly I'm like, oh, I'm gonna eat him.
You do have form.
I want to eat him.
Stop being Mo.
I don't know where he is.
Like you just feel something moving underneath him.
You have heard your father say a lot of times, when the noblest fall, they create the most exquisite of flavors.
I can smell it. I can smell it.
You know what Daddy was talking about.
I know what Daddy was talking about.
And you collect the groups. They get the hand carts together. They put some supplies on there. They bid farewell to their loved ones. And as the day comes to a close, you venture once more into the forest with your band of ruddy woodsmen. And on to greater glory in the city of monsters.